Hello, Sim here. So by now, YouTube has been flooded with Call of Duty WWII videos. Oh yes, and here's another one. So if I made this video a couple of weeks ago, I would have said it's going to be Call of Duty Vietnam. Now, my reason behind that was, if we go back to the times when Modern Warfare 3 was in development, Infinity Ward was in big trouble. I mean, it just lost 30 of its core developers and its 2 lead technical architects who had gone off to EA, and there was a whole Activision versus EA legal battle going on, right? So obviously that meant what was left of Infinity Ward at that time needed help to finish the product. At that time, and it was reported in the press back then, Sledgehammer Games was working on Call of Duty Vietnam. So I was expecting them to go, okay, we've already got this sort of like started and stuff, we're just, pull it out of the drawer and spin it back up. But obviously right now, Activision, because they talked about it in their shareholder meeting and all that stuff recently, said we're going back to our origins, going back to the roots. And they truly are. They're going back to World War II. It's been confirmed, the same source that talked about the whole space thing, and we went, oh my god, and then we saw the Infinite Warfare trailer and went, oh my god, they weren't lying then. So it looks pretty convincing right now that World War II is where it's going. Now you can say, well, why didn't they go for World War I, to give them more flexibility for future series? And personally, I think that would have just been competing with Battlefield 1, and that would have been a bad move by Activision. So I think it's a smart move to go back to the roots and go back to World War II, where Call of Duty started. Now right now, if you think about something else, we have 3 studios, yeah? We've got Sledgehammer, Treyarch and Infinity Ward, right? So I'm thinking that each of these studios are going to do a different time period. So let's say Sledgehammer Games are going to work in the World War II era. Let's say Treyarch's going to do Vietnam, and Infinity Ward is going to do current day sort of stuff, like Modern Warfare. So we're getting, from a gaming point of view, boots on ground, and that means no more jetpacks and wall running, right? But a lot of new Call of Duty players grew up on Advanced Warfare and onwards. And they like this fast running around. So how are you going to keep the new generation of Call of Duty gamers happy and content, as well as the more loyal, long-serving veteran players? How are you going to keep both sides engaged? So like Ghosts, I think sliding is still going to be around. It might not quite be what happened and how you went about business in World War II, but to try and keep that thing, I think sliding will be there, and potentially faster running or a longer sprint, or maybe they just don't have those at all. Who knows? It's going to be interesting to see, because the challenge they've got is to grab back all of those core players who've been playing Call of Duty for years, some loyal players and get them back, and keep the newer players too. So one of the other things they're going to have to take away, potentially, is specialists. So I think they might take something out of Battlefield. In Battlefield you would have different style of classes as it's known, and then you'd have your weapon setups and stuff. So perhaps we would have specialists, so to speak, as medics, assault troops, snipers, and the other one that I can't remember in Battlefield, there'd be 4. So maybe they do that to give you a little bit of interest without losing the genuineness of the game and that period too, with no BS, because nobody wants this BS where you've got overpowered perks, specialist abilities, etc. So perhaps when they're going to give the medics and snipers, etc., an extra perk for free without affecting that sort of game balance. We don't want anything that's OP. We want it to be fun, enjoyable, and yet still be able to predict where enemies are coming from. No OP perks, no wall running and stuff, because that's going to go, but keep the action fast paced, because that's what sort of Call of Duty is, but without it being crazily fast paced, right? So we all know supply drops are never going to go away. They're here to stay whether you love them or hate them, right? So I'm hoping that they're going to be cosmetic only, and or with taunts and stuff, you know, that type of thing. But no crazy perk guns, you know, the variants, the weapon variants that Advanced Warfare brought in and Infinite Warfare also continued on with. I mean, those type of crazy weapon variants are just nuts. It should be a no-go. But perhaps what they'll do is bring a variant out of realistic World War II guns. So you got your base model, and then you got your slight different variants that are actually match real life without ruining the balance of the game. So no OP weapons, yet giving you that little bit of something new to keep the whole flavor and interest in the game alive throughout its, you know, years of life. So COD right now is on a nice edge, or perhaps it's too close to be filleted, right? Cod, fish, fillet. Anyway, so it's do or die. And Sledgehammer's got a lot of pressure on them right now. The big thing that Infinity Ward let down was the game was not finished. It's taken them 5 months to finish the multiplayer aspect. What I've played as a single player of that campaign, great stuff. I need to sit down and play single player, but I'm more of a multiplayer person these days. But if they don't have this game pretty much polished and complete at launch, they're in trouble. Now, the big telltale sign to me personally last year was we didn't get to see multiplayer footage until really late, so that suggested to me they were in trouble. And also, the beta didn't come out until like 2 weeks before launch. That also didn't bode well for them. So if Sledgehammer does exactly what Treyarch did and brings the beta out in August, then Sledgehammer I've got better confidence in. So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I really want to know. You excited for this? And what about you guys who are the newer generation of COD? Those of you who, I say, grew up on Advanced Warfare as your first Call of Duty, etc. Or maybe Black Ops 3 or even as Infinite Warfare. What do you think about it going back to World War II? I'd be interested. So let me know your thoughts, how you feel about it. Comment down below, I really want to know. As always, I appreciate a thumbs up, and until next time, this has been Sim.